Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Collegiate iRacing League Prospect Series for the Oval Side. We are here tonight at the beautiful Bristol Motor Speedway here in Tennessee. Tonight's race is going to be a good one for the Prospect Series. Weather tonight currently at 80 degrees Fahrenheit with 75% humidity. Weather is looking clear for tonight. Track temp currently at about 83 degrees Fahrenheit, so not a hot one out there, but it's not a hot track, but it is a short one, and tempers will be flaring in the CIL tonight. My name is Matthew Nordberg. Up here in the booth with me tonight, we have Nick Beaver joining me. Nick, what are your thoughts on the racing we're going to see here tonight?
I think it's going to be fun. We've got a smaller field tonight, but the times in practice have been mighty close. So I think we're going to get a lot of nice, tight racing. Passing is going to be difficult, but I'm looking forward to see what these guys can put on.
Yeah, absolutely. Short track racing in the Cup Series is always great to watch. I'm sure this is going to provide a unique challenge for our drivers tonight as they currently go through qualifying here right now. Currently 3 minutes into our 10-minute qualifying session. We'll see if we can pick up any drivers on their laps as they come. But, Nick, we're getting to the end of the season here. Currently, our drivers are trying to figure out what's the best way that they can get the number of points they need to make their way into the Prospect Series. For the Prospect Series in the Oval, it is I believe the top 16 drivers do automatically qualify for the Premier Series next season. But how does that change the mindset going into this race, knowing that any mistakes you make tonight, you might not have enough time to rectify them before the end of the season?
Yeah, that's definitely a lot of pressure on the driver's shoulders. It's and Bristol, no less, is going to be difficult. I think tonight is about keeping the nose clean, just trying to get as many points or the best finishing position as possible. And like I said, small field. I think the drivers will be all right. They just need to stay clean for this heat and feature.
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially just trying to avoid any of the wrecks tonight, staying out of any trouble is going to be a big help to these drivers as they try to navigate themselves around the high banks of Bristol. But what we see on our screen here now, Alex Hallinar out of the University of Binghamton, currently our championship leader in the Prospect Series. Prospect Series races Monday nights at 9 p.m. Premier Series, if you're interested, you can follow that up on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. where the best 36 drivers duke it out. Same track, very similar conditions, but different drivers will definitely produce a different race as we see Hallinar comes into the pits now. But, with qualifying, it's all about timing your track time correctly. It looks like most of our drivers have qualified. We do have a field of 14 drivers, so Jordan Ricci and Christian Hill, I believe, are the two drivers who have not yet to qualify. Yeah, as we look through our top 10 right now in qualifying, we have Thomas Toomey out of the University of Virginia leading the leaderboard with a 14.67 lap time. Nick, track position is super important around here at Bristol, especially making sure you use your track position to avoid any of the big wrecks. What do you think some of these guys who didn't put in good qualifying times are expecting out of this race now?
Well, I'm sure they're hoping everyone around them can hold their lane. It's a wide track, but there's not a lot of room that you can use. And I think we've got some drivers maybe intentionally starting in the back to see if the first few laps develop any wrecks. Sure they want to maybe take advantage of some track position just on fruition alone. So, there's probably different strategies going on. I'm excited to see what these guys are up to.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think qualifying has started to finish up here as all of our drivers participating in tonight's race have finished. Going to have a quick warm-up session here maybe if the admins decide to let this one slide to see Alex Hallinar slide out of his pits. Followed in front of him by Thomas Toomey. That is going to be your front row for tonight's race. I'm wondering if these guys are heading out together to see if they can learn a little bit about the drivers we'll be racing with tonight. But sure to be a good one as we see the session has advanced now. And we will be getting your starting grid momentarily as the grid pulls up. And your starting lineup for tonight's race will be Thomas Toomey on pole position for the University of Virginia, running that 166 car in the alumni class. Set up lap time of 14.67 or 14.679. On his outside is Alex Hallinar out of Binghamton University. Row 2 set up by Matthew Tucker of Jacksonville State and Ethan Head on the outside, and that number 8 car out of Tennessee University. Ryan Finty and Scott Ratliff round out your row 3. Nathan Brungett and Alexander Olszewski round out your next row. Cody Fadenhauer out of VCU sets in a lap time just slightly behind Alexander Olszewski. Andrew Burrell rounds out your top 10. Andrew Hogarth, the number 20 car out of Canada in St. Clair College, will finish off your runners for tonight's race. But Nick, I think we're going to see a good race here. I think a lot of these drivers are maybe a little nervous, but I expect them to be going at it right off the start of the green flag.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I was running some practice laps earlier trying to see which lines may be the most advantageous here, and it seems that the middle and top grooves are both competitive. So we'll see. I think we'll see guys on the bottom, middle, and top as the race progresses.
Absolutely, and that's just what we want to see. We want to see racing on all lanes of this track, but we see Ethan Head pull off to the side here, and a unique perspective from Ethan Head tonight. Ethan Head is actually running our driver's eye camera. He does run in VR, as you can see in the bottom right. Just taking a quick peek at some of the conditions around him and trying to figure out what position... Oh, excuse me, this is Alex Hallinar, my bad. Whoa. Wrong car. But Alex Hallinar currently on the outside. You can see that pace car. We will have 2 pace laps here at Bristol Motor Speedway, but Alex Hallinar is our driver's eye camera for tonight. I got my notes mixed up in my race notes, but Alex Hallinar crossing the line now in the driver's eye cam. We will see some interesting perspectives from him tonight, and we will check in periodically throughout the race to see how he's doing. But as the field comes around turn 2, these drivers get ready for an exciting race. One pit road here at Bristol. This track offers 2 unique configurations with either 2 split pit roads or a single long pit road. Admins tonight have chosen the single pit road as we look at the cars come into turn 3 now as the pace car gets ready to pull off on the side. Nick, you ready for the race tonight?
Let's go. I love Bristol, baby.
Yeah, you had to get the words in before the race started, but Thomas Toomey is our pole sitter on the inside in that blue and orange car for University of Virginia. He will lead the field to green now as he gets a good jump on Alex Hallinar. Goes able to get the jump into turn 1, but Thomas Toomey currently in the lead. Alex Hallinar right behind him, making sure that nobody can catch up to the top 2 right now, as the top 2 have seemed to pulled away as the battle rages on in the back between spots pretty much 3 through 4 through 5 at this point.
And it's good to see them spread out. It'll let the drivers kind of get the nerves out and find a rhythm. That at that point they can start attacking, trying to make passes early on. And we can already see multiple grooves forming. We see some on the bottom, some at the very top. The leaders are choosing different lines, so it's good to see there's some variety here.
Yeah, absolutely. We always love to see some good multi-lane racing here in the Cup Series and the Premier Series, running the NASCAR Next Gen Cup cars. But we look further back in the field. Ethan Head running that number 8 car in the University of Tennessee machine, trying to chase down Cody Fadenhauer of VCU, but a bit of a battle brewing up ahead with Andrew Burrell out of Clemson University, running that 88 car with that purple and orange trim. It's going to be hard to miss him under the lights.
And running a pretty clean nose at the moment. Yeah, I like what I'm seeing. Some cars on the bottom, some on the top. There's a battle going on in the back. Looks like Tennessee. Yeah, this is good racing so far. Nice clean.
Yeah, you definitely have to set up your moves around this short, high bank, half-mile track. It's never an easy pass around here when you do make the pass. But up front, looks like Alex Hallinar is chasing down Thomas Toomey a little bit after his jump on the start. Thomas Toomey, lap time was a 15:01. Last time for Alex Hallinar was a 14:96 as they come across the line. But Thomas Toomey slightly faster than Hallinar this lap, but they're already coming up on lap traffic on lap 8. That is the 20 machine of Alexander Hogarth. I don't know if he's got a problem or if he's just a little off the pace right now, but we already have the leaders dealing with lap traffic, and that's definitely going to play a factor tonight if these drivers do run long green flag stints. You're going to have to deal with lap traffic around this track, and that's definitely something that the leaders should be wary of as they continue throughout this race.
And that's something that makes Bristol so unique. It's kind of like road racing, where you have to find your way across, let's say, slower classes, for example. So yeah, just trying to pick your way through traffic. Second place might find an advantage. It's just fun to see them deal with traffic as it comes up.
Yeah, as we watch Thomas Toomey and Alex Palinar duke it out for the front, we'll take a look at it the first time during the race at our in-car camera, trying to see what Alex Palinar sees as he chases down Toomey. This is just a great view to show you kind of how fast these drivers have to go through all their actions, you know? It's a very short track. You don't have a whole lot of time to think. You have maybe about 3 or 4 seconds from one corner to the next before you're already trying to figure out what line you want to take. But Alex Palinar doing a good job so far of trying to stick with that bumper of Thomas Toomey as these two up front continue to duke it out over the last 15 or so laps. Yeah, further back in the field, looks like Ethan Head and that is Jordan Reekie out of the University of Alabama at Huntsville, getting a little friendly with each other as it looks like Head moves to the inside and making a move on Andrew Burrell of the 88 car. Inside line does have the advantage on the entry, but on the outside, or on the exit, that outside line uses all the track and is able to get some good speed out of the corner. But Bristol, you can really go side by side for a while as it looks like Ethan Head finally gets the move done, moves himself up into 9th position. Andrew Burrell still under attack though by the 92 of Jordan Reekie behind.
And that was a very impressive move to pass on the bottom. I thought that all passes tonight would be made around the top, so I like what I'm seeing here with these guys. One thing they're going to want to keep in mind is that I think you can eat up the right front pretty quick here. They'll probably go about halfway. I don't know if pit stops are going to be a factor tonight, but if that's the case, maybe some will take right sides, maybe some all 4 tires.
Yeah, and we have seen green flag runs and pit stops play a significant factor in the Prospect Series this year. Longtime viewers and regular viewers may remember Richmond this season. Just a few weeks ago, Alex Palinar decided to stick it out on old tires for, I feel like it was 60-odd laps at Richmond. And that decision cost him as he ended up blowing a right front tire, which is something you don't see very often in iRacing. But if you're not careful, you definitely can blow a tire. As we look back at Jordan Reekie, looks like Christian Hill just got by him for the 11th position. That Jordan Reekie, representing the University of Alabama Huntsville, has newcomer to the series this season, but he's made some good ground. He's definitely held himself in a good account with the rest of the drivers. As we look further back up the field, Matthew Tucker and Ryan Finty are going at it into turn 1 right now. Ryan Finty currently trailing in the 4th position right now, but for this last podium spot, Matthew Tucker is going to be holding on for everything he's got.
And spinners out of 2 down the back stretch. Andrew Burrell and Siuski went around. Looks like they made some contact, running out of real estate.
We'll be getting a replay of that in just a moment. We'll look back here now as the caution comes out, but we'll get a replay here, see what happened. Looks like Andrew Burrell going into turn 1. Ethan Head maybe on the high side, got a little bit into the wall, and these two, 2 cars into 1 just does not go, and both of them end up nose first into that inside wall out of turn 2, but unfortunate break for Ethan Head because he got into the wall there into turn 1 and 2, but really, you can't really blame Ethan Head for that. He was kind of just a victim in that situation as Burrell just ran him out of road.
Yep, absolutely. That's just one of those racing incidents. It's one thing. The corners are so fast, it's almost impossible to check up, and with the low visibility in these cars, maybe he didn't see him up top. It's hard to say, but yep, they just came together, and that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, but we do have a change of leaders up front. While we were focused on that wreck, Thomas Toomey lost the lead to Alex Palinar. We're going to replay that real quick while we're under caution here. Just looks like, a little contact between the two, but it looks like Alex Palinar just got to the outside bumper of the 166 machine of Thomas Toomey and just stuck it on the outside. And I think it looked like just before the caution came out, he got that pass done. So great move from the Binghamton, University machine of Alex Palinar. But it does look like, as we go back live now, we do have some green flag pit stops underway as Alex Palinar leads the field in pit road. They're all in pit road. Looks like they're on the back stretch already going into their pit stops, but Alex Palinar right now leading the field into the pits.
And 25 laps in, I'm very curious to see what we do for tires here. It looks like we've got some right sides going on Palinar's car. Still waiting. Yeah, they're probably going to putting on 4, so it'll be a fresh restart for everyone, and it's be like start of the race all over again.
Looks like that was Finty who got the jump on Thomas Toomey. I don't know if he had a bad pit stop or what happened, but looks like coming off of pit road, the leader was Alex Palinar. But we'll have to double check on all of those numbers. But looks like We do have a new leader, or excuse me, a new second place driver in the race right now. But we did have some drivers not choose to pit, so I think that will be interesting to see how that's going to come into play. It looks like Matthew Tucker and Jordan Ricci decided to stay out, and then the top three out of the pit was Alex Hallinar. Ryan Finty gained a spot over Thomas Toomey, and those were your top three out of the pits.
When I go back and look at their lap times, they're not too far off what they were running towards the beginning of the race. So maybe these drivers are expecting we'll see a couple more cautions, have some track position, and pit a little later. But I think they might be in good shape. We'll see how this pans out when the restart comes.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. I think if I'm able to pull this up, looks like, let's see here. Nope, can't see their pit times on here. My data is just not up to date, but I can tell you Thomas Toomey was slower than Ryan Finty, but that's about as much as I can tell you in terms of times. If we were, more professional, if we had more cool data, we could show you who had the slower pit stop in the box, who stopped longer, and who was just like slower on pit road in general. But field is coming around to turn 3 now, getting ready to take the green flag again. Nick, go ahead and take us through this restart here.
Yeah, so Matthew Tucker will have the control the field here. He can go once the pace car's in, and he'll try to get a gap. He's off. The field is off, and so he's clear. He can run whatever line he wants now. It looks like the clean restart for the rest of the field. Where, let's see here, 92 with a slightly slower restart. That was one of our drivers that stayed out, and it looks like we're going to have a change for the lead here.
Yeah, Alex Hallinar on the outside of Matthew Tucker. Going for the lead here, Tucker on older tires than Hallinar, making good use of that fresh rubber, regaining first position. Ryan Finty, though, right behind him, is looking to do the same. He's trying to go on the inside of Matthew Tucker instead of the outside, use that grip to his advantage to get around the bottom of the track a little bit quicker. Can't make it work as well as Hallinar did, but these cars are going at it side by side through turns 1, 2, 3, and 4 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Not a lot of time to make up your mind as Matthew Tucker gets into the wall going into turn 1, but Thomas Toomey takes advantage of that, gets underneath them as Matthew Tucker spends a little bit of more time in the wall now in turns 3, but Ryan Finty still on the outside of Thomas Toomey here, trying to hold on to second position, but Thomas Toomey had good speed in the first 15 laps, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him make up some ground. It looked like we had a little bit of contact in the back of the screen. That might have been Cody Fadenhauer getting sent to the outside wall. Just a little love tap, nothing too crazy, but Ryan Finty still holding on to the lead Ryan Finty holding on to second place from Thomas Toomey.
It looks like Scott Ratliff wrecking on the backstretch in front of the leaders.
We got Scott Ratliff, he is wrecking, look at that. He is slow on the apron. We'll get a replay of that in just a moment. But Scott Ratliff having a little bit of a spin, saying hello to that inside wall out of Pitt State University. We'll get a replay of that momentarily, and here we go. Yeah, it already looks like he's spinning here. Let's see if we can back it up. Oh yeah, I think he's just loose coming out of the corner, and he just drifts into turn 1. Does a really good job to stay out of the wall instead of anybody's way, but... Alex Hall. Ooh, that's close. Yeah, that was... Can't tell who that was. I think that was Nathan Brungett, but yeah, just couldn't save it going down the backstretch. Just got a tank slapper on him and it just went around. Just unfortunate.
And I don't blame him. These next-gen cars, while they have improved over the past few iRacing builds, they are quite a handful to save. And it looked like he was chasing it for more than half the track, but it eventually went around. Luckily, he was the only one involved, no one else keeping their noses clean.
Yeah, it was definitely a tricky one as you see Matthew Tucker into the pit lane. Behind him, Jordan Ricci and Scott Ratliff both enter pit lane, seeing what they can do if they have any damage to get some repairs. As you see Matthew Tucker on the inside going into the backstretch pit lane entrance. But Alex Hallinar doing a good job so far of controlling this race. Started in second position, was able to gain the lead right before our first caution of the night at approximately lap 15-20. And Thomas Toomey, unfortunately, during that caution cycle, lost a spot on pit road to Ryan Finty. So that's your top 3 right now: Hallinar, Finty, and Toomey. We'll take a look on board with Alex Hallinar in our in-car camera. We're in the VR setup. Definitely a very, very cool angle. He's looking around, just trying to get a good feel of what's happening in the race. See his iRacing heads-up display in front of him. You can see some pretty good information there as he looks up and sees a message from race control, actually. Not sure what that's about, but coming to the stripe again. There should be 2 to go after this lap, I believe. Yeah, that's right, 2 to go. Looking at the in-car camera for Hallinar there to actually double-check, but it's going to be interesting to see what these drivers do now that they have a couple laps on these tires and there's a bit of a heat cycle in them. Might see some more grip off the start, might be a bit more aggressive, but Alex Hallinar, I don't think he's worried about Ryan Finty as much as he is worried about Thomas Toomey, because I think these two have had a great scrap all season long. Plenty of races where they came to blows, either on track or due to strategy, and it just didn't work out for one driver or the other, but I think it's going to be exciting to see Hallinar hold off these drivers from behind.
And I'm looking at Fenty. He started 5th. He's up to 2nd. I think we've got a very stout top 3 here, top 4, 5. Yeah, a good field. So I like to see where this is going. We are just about halfway. The lights are off on the pace car, so we're 1 to green. And Alex Hallinar will lead them to the green. He will be in control of the field.
Yeah, currently biggest mover of the night is Christian Hill, up in 7th position right now, or excuse me, up in 6th position, 7 spots up from his starting grid. So these drivers moving back and forth in their alliance, trying to figure out where the best place to be is for this restart. But Alex Hallinar out of Binghamton University will be leading the field of green here as the pace car gets ready to pull off into pit lane. Alex Hallinar will set the pace for the rest of the field. No restart zone in effect for this race yet tonight. Alex Hallinar brings them down towards the stripe and gets a good jump on all the drivers in the field. Looks like we had a slow car in the back. Not a great jump from him, but Thomas Toomey going side by side with Andrew Olszewski. I'm sorry, I'm butchering that name, but Thomas Toomey loses a spot to him. A great jump from Andrew there. Really good job just to make sure that he had the grip off the restart. And he's going to challenge Ryan Finty for 2nd position here. But using that inside line to his advantage, he used the outside to get past Toomey, and now he's taking the inside line for Finty. But we can see the difference in lines these drivers are taking, and it's making a big difference on just not only their tire wear, but how they're making up lap time around this place.
Absolutely, and I'm impressed he continues to run the bottom. Olszewski, yeah, the name's a difficult one.
Olszewski.
But running the bottom, running the middle actually, and he's keeping up with the 26 of Ryan Fenty. So I think, if he keeps running this line, he might have a challenger for 2nd.
Yeah, we see Olszewski here. He's making a run down the inside to Finty. Couldn't quite get a nose in there, but we look further back in the field. We got drivers going nose to tail. We kind of got a front pack battle and a backpack battle right now. It looks like this battle is being led by Christian Hill at the front. That's Cody Fadenhauer in the yellow 3-numbered car behind him, and it looks like we got Ethan Head in the Tennessee machine under pressure a bit from Matthew Tucker behind.
And Nathan Brungett making a move on, trying to work the bottom on Cody Fadenhauer. It looks like he's backed off a little bit, but he had a nose in there on the quarter. And now it looks like Ethan Head, he has a run out of 4, trying to get to the bottom, not going to work. So they're, 777 around the top now. Matthew Tucker trying to make a move on the 8, and gosh, he's going to make that work almost pretty cleanly. Going to get a run out of the corner, and he's clear. Look at that.
Yeah, Alexander Olszewski is battling a little bit with Thomas Toomey here. Toomey is able to hold that inside line, but I think Olszewski's getting great traction off turns 2 and 4 and is just holding down his quarter panel down the straightaway. But this is a really good battle between these two drivers right here. Olszewski, a newcomer to the CIL, but he's definitely making good account of himself racing series regulars such as Thomas Toomey and Ryan Finty. Those guys are tough to race. They're fair racers, but they got the speed, and you have to be careful when you're trying to make a move on them. And then we look further back. Matthew Tucker took tires on the last caution. He's making a move on Nathan Brungett right now, going side by side as Cody Fadenhauer is up in front of them, and he's able to dive down to the inside of Fadenhauer, making a move on him, see if he can get to the front of this battle right here, using that fresh rubber he has. He just pitted only 4 or 5 laps ago, pitted lap 35, so, well, I guess that's a bit further, that's a bit longer, but 15 laps compared to lap 24 for a lot of the rest of the field, so 10 laps on his tires here, but, yeah.
Yeah, he definitely made the most of it. He passed 2 cars on the bottom right in a row, and now the 64, Nathan Brungett's going to try to pass Fadenhauer on the bottom, try to follow Brungett through. And so, yeah, the bottom continues to work back here. Look at all this side-by-side rate.
Oh, we have a
And
wreck
they're
going into
wrecking.
turn 1. Nathan Brungett just comes up a little bit on Cody Fadenhauer, and the two get together going into turn 1. Caution comes out, and there's a wreck in turn 1, and these drivers got to be careful. You see one of the cars come up pretty quickly behind, but unfortunate move there. It looked like he thought he had the room to come up in front of Fadenhauer, but just didn't quite have it, as we'll get a replay here of the wreck between Brungett, Fadenhauer, and a bit of the cars behind them. Yeah, coming off of turn 4, we got Brungett on the inside and Fadenhauer on the outside. Looks like these two, I think Fadenhauer came down to the middle of the track and kind of squeezed him down there, but I thought Brungett, he moved up thinking Fadenhauer would be in the top lane, just he wasn't there and the two collected, but unfortunate incident, could have been avoided, but third caution of the night brought out by some hard racing, and that's something you kind of have to expect around here at Bristol. It's a half-mile track, high banks, high speeds, and any misjudgment in where your opponent is or who's going where just doesn't work out for the drivers. As we see pit stops happening now, Alex Hallinar leading them down pit road for the second time tonight for most of these cars. Looks like everybody's taking. Everybody, I think maybe the exception of Andrew Burrell, stays out. He is currently in first position just due to pit stop cycles, but Alex Hallinar leading them down pit road. We'll see if Thomas Toomey can rectify his mistakes from the first pit stop and maybe make a position to get back up to the bumper of Alex Hallinar.
And I think we'll be seeing 4 more tires here. It's possible we're on lap 54 of 80, and I think it's possible that this might be our last pit stop unless we get a late race caution. So these guys are going to strap on 4 tires and try to make it to the end, pending things stay clean.
Yeah, absolutely. I think these guys are expecting it to be the last pit stop. Looks like Matthew Tucker was the first driver off pit road. He had a fantastic pit stop. Behind him, it was Nathan Brungett. I'm not sure if they took 2 tires or if they took 1. Actually, correction, it was Ryan Finty who came off second pit road behind Matthew Tucker. We had 2 cars stay out, or we had a car that's maybe a lap down now or something. But really interesting pit stop cycle there. It looks like, I don't know if Hallinar and Toomey if they weren't expecting people to take 2 tires, or if maybe they just entered the box slowly and missed their marks. But looks like Matthew Tucker is going to be the first driver with new tires coming out of our third caution of the night.
Yeah, and remember, Tucker had the fresher tires of the field. He passed several cars. He only took right sides on that pit stop, so I think that was actually a very smart strategy move. Just to take right sides, left sides are still going to be pretty fresh. Now he's got himself some track position.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting restart here with a mix of no tires, 2 tires, 4 tires. And I think Ryan Finty has really surprised me with how his performance has been on pit road tonight. This is 2 times now where he's taken 4 tires and he's been able to overtake cars on pit road. The first pit stop he overtook Thomas Toomey for second position, and then in this third caution of the night, his second pit stop, Ryan Finty was able to beat Alex Hallinar out of the box. So it's going to be an interesting fight at the front, just with the difference of pace of these cars. I think Alex Hallinar definitely has one of the better cars in the field, as we have the the lights on the pace car go out. As we get ready to come to green here, and we'll take a look at the in-car cam with Alex Hallinar. We'll see how he restarts in traffic here. He's going to be starting in the 4th position, right behind Matthew Tucker, who only took 2 tires. As the pace car gets ready to pull off to pit lane, Andrew Burrell is our leader for the restart here at Clemson University. No tires in this last stop. He's going to be holding the field up really long here, and the green flag comes out. Matthew Tucker with a fantastic jump. He's able to get a good lead into turn 1. And Alex Hallinar following him. Big run out of turn 2, but crash. Matthew Tucker and Alex Hallinar crash coming out of turn 2 as caution comes out again. And that was a tough one right there. It just looks like not a lot of room coming out of turn 2, but Alex Hallinar holding his nose into the right rear quarter panel of Matthew Tucker, and I think Matthew Tucker was expecting to be clear there.
Yeah, and Hallinar came off the corner with such a run that I would fully expect that he didn't hear a spotter there. So yeah, it's just another one of those racing incidents, and restarts are nice and close like that. So of course we're going to get some incidents, but it's a bummer. I think there were 4 or 5 cars involved. Some may have used their fast repair already, so we may be losing car count here a little bit.
Yeah, I think so too. We're going to get a replay of that incident here. As we look at Matthew Tucker on the inside, looks like Alex Hallinar just had an amazing run off the top side of turn 2. maybe had a bit more room to the wall, but can't really blame him for her sticking his nose in there. It looks like Matthew Tucker came up a little bit. Just one of those racing incidents where two cars coming off a corner, trying to get the best line they can. Just really unfortunate stuff right there.
And the gaps can close so quickly here, whether it's side to side, nose to tail. So you really have to be on your toes, and some of these you just can't react fast enough. So that's how that situation played through there.
Yeah, a good way to imagine the speed that some of these drivers are going through is, it takes about 10 seconds for the world's fastest runners to go 100 meters, right? That's about what's a quarter of a quarter, a 16th of a mile or so? These drivers are doing half a mile, over double the distance, well, a lot more than double the distance, but they're doing a half mile in only about 5 seconds more. So the speeds these guys are doing on a track this small is insane, and there's not really a whole lot of time to make up your mind. So any little bit of indecision, any little misjudgment could be costly for these drivers, as it looks like we're coming to 20 laps to go now, but Alex Hallinar unable to retain the lead after that incident with Matthew Tucker. Ryan Finty, your current leader, and it's going to be a good sprint to the finish here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can get some more green flag running in. The first part of the race was pretty exciting. I hope we can kind of finish it off with racing just like that.
Yeah, it should be a good sprint here. Long run speed doesn't matter anymore. It's all about that short run speed. 20 laps is what's left in this CIL Round 5 race for the Prospect Series at Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum. But I bet there's going to be no love lost between Hallinar and Tucker there. I don't think they're going to be on good terms at the end of this race. I don't know. I could be wrong, but typically wrecks between drivers racing for the lead don't result in amicable relations. But we've come to the one to go here. Ryan Finty on the inside in the 26 car. Alex Hallinar in the 57 car on the outside. These two cars have been quick all night. Thomas Toomey lining up in 4th position. Probably the best spot he could have asked to start in, making sure that he's not behind Andrew Burrell in the 88 car. He's up 7 positions currently, but Burrell did not take tires in the last pit stop or the last caution, so he is currently on tires that are, 25 laps old, I think, 25 30 laps old. So it's going to be a tough one for Burrell, and I think he's going to have to manage himself here and just make sure that he's not in the way of the faster drivers as we come into turn 3 now. Nick, take us away for this restart here.
Ryan Finty will control the field. Alex Hallinar on the outside. The past couple of restarts have been nice and slow checking up the field, so we'll see how quickly Finty goes here. It looks like he's going to go pretty early. Going to get a nice run. They're going to single file out up until 5th. Let's see the 64 on the yep. So we got some contact on the back. The 88 just did not get the restart he was looking for. So we're going to try to get some passes done on the outside as 18 maybe, or 88 rather, might fade back a little bit, and there's some contact again. Yeah, kind of a wild restart with some different tire strategies.
Yeah, in the back, chaos reigns, but at the front, Alex Hallinar chasing down Ryan Finty in the 26 car. Currently nose to bumper right now, but Thomas Toomey lurking in the back, about 3-4 tenths back from our leaders, making sure that if any incident between those two happen, Thomas is going to be there to take the pickings. But currently both drivers running the high side, running kind of nose or foot and step right now, making sure that they're just trailing, saving their tires, maybe see if they can make a run at it with 10 or 5 laps to go, see if they can out-duel the other on the longer run here with 20 laps. It's not a long run, but it's longer than some of the runs that we've had tonight.
For sure, and we're looking back at Matthew Tucker. He's trying to make up all the ground he lost, not making a lot of progress. I don't know if he took tires during that last caution, but he's only 9th. I believe he restarted 10th, so he's probably hoping for another caution. There's a couple cars in front of him. The 88's on older tires. The 88 of Andrew Burrell's on older tires, and now we can see Cody Fadenhauer going around the outside of the 88. We're going to see if Matthew Tucker can follow suit, as there he goes. Yep.
Yeah, Matthew Tucker taking advantage of Burrell being stuck on the line that's not preferred, the lower side. Just you don't get the run off the corner that you really want. But up at the front, Ryan Finty closing the gap a little bit, or is it Thomas Toomey who's going to be able to take second place off Finty? These two have been kind of closing up. Right now, the gap is currently sitting at about 3 tenths between each car right now, so 3 tenths from Hallinar to Finty. I think we'll get a quick look at the field as things spread out a bit more, as Cody Fadenhauer and Matthew Tucker go at it. Looks like Matthew Tucker is able to just get by the 8:04 machine of Cody Fadenhauer, but currently sitting with 9 laps to go. There's not a whole lot of time left in this race for the front runners to catch Alex Hallinar. Look back up the front. Alex Hallinar currently in the lead as we move to our in-car camera. Looking at clean roads in front of him, but look in that mirror. There's 2 angry-looking cars that are chasing him down, trying to get this win. But Alex Hallinar controlling the race right now. Looks like he has a good gap as we go to 8 to go right now in the race. But Nick, I think Alex Hallinar has had the speed all night. You think he can close it out here?
I think he can, yeah. It looks like Fenty's searching around a little bit, going into the corner. He's right up against the wall, trying to use up every bit of real estate he can, trying to get around out of the corner. And Thomas Toomey's hanging right with him, but it looks like Alex Hallinar is clean. He's got some lap traffic here ahead of him. Christian Hill, they get around cleanly. Christian stays to the top. That's very nice. Top 3 are going to go to the bottom, and that kind of closes up first and second a little bit. Fenty closed maybe 2 or 3 car lengths, and now he's running the bottom, trying to see if he can run a different line, close the gap a little bit.
Yeah, we look back in the field, we see Ethan Head and Matthew Tucker going side by side. I think Matthew Tucker is trying to make up some positions in the field. But I think then Cody Fadenhauer is going to take advantage of Ethan Head's off the pace as well. But back up front, Ryan Fenty trying to get the win, but defend at the same time. Thomas Toomey is hounding this 26 car all the way around the track right now, really using that bottom line to his advantage. But Ryan Fenty's going to hold strong as Thomas Toomey dives to the inside, can't get a nose in, but I don't think this fight's up. There's 3 laps to go at the line, and this is going to be a good one at the end.
And this is what Hallinar likes to see. He likes to see the 2 cars behind him running side by side, battling. Easy for him to expand the gap. Yeah, there they go. Battle for second.
Yeah, Thomas Toomey dives to the inside as Hallinar uses the outside line to give himself the momentum down the backstretch. And we are at 2 to go right now with Alex Hallinar coming to the stripe. White flag is... Oh, I'm at the wrong side of the track. It happened. It's a short track. They look the same. But Thomas Toomey down to the inside on Ryan Fenty. But Alex Hallinar this time coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Thomas Toomey with a little bit of a slide job on Ryan Fenty there. Gets way up on the inside of him in the corner. And Thomas Toomey is able to get the position done for second place. But Alex Hallinar for the Binghamton University is going to come across the stripe. Your winner tonight here at Bristol. Thomas Toomey finishes second. Ryan Fenty crosses the line in third. Yeah, great race from these guys up front. Alex Hallinar did a fantastic job to hold off the guys behind him, and he just really showed why I think tonight he had the fastest car and he, deserved to win this race.
Absolutely. In control most of the race. There he does, doing a celebration. That was a very nice last 20 laps or so by everyone. Nice, clean, side-by-side racing. Gosh, that was a great Bristol race. Nice job, everyone.
Yeah, as we see Alex Hallinar doing his burnouts to celebrate his victory tonight here in the Prospect Series. Great racing from everybody here tonight. A few cautions, spiced up the strategy, making sure that, if just saving tires wasn't going to be it. You had to have the short run speed, and you had to have the long run speed. As we see Alex Hallinar doing a little Polish victory lap around the track, going around the wrong side, waving to the fans, making sure that everyone knows that he is the one tonight who took the checkered flag. Yeah, as he continues to celebrate his victory, we're going to go look at our finishing order for the night. Our finishing order for the night. Let's see if I can pull it up. Oop. Doesn't want to pull up. Show. There it is. So for the CIL Prospect Series here at Bristol Motor Speedway, Alex Hallinar out of Binghamton University is our winner tonight. Thomas Toomey, alumni winner tonight out of the University of Virginia, finishes about 0.6 of a second behind. Ryan Fenty in third place for St. Joseph's University in New York comes in third to round out your podium positions. Nathan Brungett out of the University of Lynchburg comes fourth, and Matthew Tucker out of Jacksonville State. Good recovery after his contact with Alex Hallinar, finishes fifth. Cody Fadenhauer out of VCU finishes sixth, with Alexander Olszewski finishing seventh. Ethan Head out of the University of Tennessee finishes eighth. Right behind him, Alexander Hogarth out of St. Clair College finishes ninth. And Andrew Burrell, the 88 machine out of Clemson University, rounds out your top 10. Unfortunate choice to not take tires in that last run from Burrell, but a bold strategy call that just didn't pay off tonight. And then our last runner of the night, our last few runners of the night, Christian Hill comes 11, 5 laps down after getting into a few wrecks. Jordan Ricky and then Scott Ratliff round out your finishers for the evening. Well, Nick, let's see if we can get any of our drivers into the booth real quick as let's see here. Who can I pull in? And welcome to the booth tonight. Alex Hallinar, your race winner here in the Prospect Series. Alex, congratulations on the race win tonight. Walk us through that last 20 lap run and what your strategy was.
My strategy was to get around Fenty. I kind of just, observation. I see that he was getting loose off the corner, so if I just was behind him enough and I can pressure him to getting loose, I can get by him, and that's kind of what happened. And from there, it was just kind of pulling away, hoping that Toomey helps me out, and that's what happened, and I got the dub.
So tell us, once out front, were you watching your mirror, or did you have your eyes set forward? Did you feel like you were under any pressure while leading the last good half of that last half of the race?
I mean, you kind of have to look at your mirror a little bit just to kind of see where they are, what lines they're taking. Looks like Ryan and Thomas were trying the bottom. I was happy at the top. I wasn't really looking at them like, oh, are they going to get to my bumper? I was looking ahead, but I was looking behind just to get more information about what I needed to do to win the race.
Well, Alex, congratulations on the race win tonight. Is there anyone you want to thank or shout out before we send you on your way tonight?
I want to thank my dad. He's probably watching. I want to thank you guys at the league for putting this on. I want to thank Fenty and Toomey for having a clean battle up front. It was nice. And yeah, I'm going to stay off Twitter for the next half hour or so I can watch some Better Call Saul spoiler free.
Well, Alex, congratulations on the race win tonight. And that in-car camera, the driver's eye, was looking great tonight.
Awesome.
And that was Alex Hallinar, our race winner of the evening. I think next up here we're going to get our second place driver, Thomas Toomey, as Thomas Toomey joins us in the booth now. Thomas, congratulations on second place tonight. It definitely wasn't an easy fight for you. Talk us through those last 15, 20 laps in your battle with Ryan.
Yeah, it was a fun battle. He was pushing really hard at the end, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to clear him unless it was a long green flag run. Just the way the start went off on that last time. So I was saving my tires. Thankfully, I had enough rotation left in the car to get on the inside of him. He definitely preferred the high line more. So the opportunity presented itself, and I was able to get it done the last 2 laps, which was fun.
Yeah, that was a great drive. Coming into this race, did you have any pit strategy in mind? Did you think 2 tires would be better than 4? Any specifics coming into this race?
I hadn't tried the 2 tire strategy. I knew that tires would be a factor. If there was less than 5 cautions, then you pretty much want to take tires every opportunity. And we had a short run there. It was only 2 laps. I knew that wasn't time to take tires, but every other time the fall off is so bad over a couple of seconds that it's worth it just to go down pit road.
Yeah, well, Thomas, congratulations on the second place tonight. Definitely an entertaining race. Anybody want to thank or shout out before we send you on your way tonight?
Yeah, want to thank my parents who are probably watching this right now, and Virginia Motorsports, and shout out to you guys as well for putting this on. It's been a fun time racing this summer.
Well, Thomas, thank you. Congratulations on the race win tonight. I hope you enjoy it and have a good rest of your evening.
You too.
All right, that was Thomas Toomey, our second place finisher up tonight. And I think rounding off our interviews for the evening is going to be our third place driver. It's Ryan Finty. Ryan Finty, congratulations on the third place tonight. How are you feeling about your battle there with Thomas Toomey? You almost held him off to the end of the race, but what was going through your mind there?
Oh man, it was frustrating. I choked like I couldn't even believe.
Yeah, tell us about those last few laps. It looks like you were searching around looking for a lane. Yeah, what were the last few laps like?
Yeah, so my gas pedal, it took away like the top eighth of it, so I didn't have full throttle for most of that second half. It was coming in and out. So I absolutely abused my tires trying to make up for that, and it eventually caught back up to me when I slammed into the wall. And then Alex passed me, and then eventually Thomas passed me because my tires were just so shredded. There was nothing I could do. I was even shifting.
Well, Ryan, that certainly sounds like an eventful final 20 laps, almost like a reverse stuck throttle. It's just you can't get it all the way down. But before we send you on your way, Ryan, anybody want to thank or shout out tonight on the broadcast before you head out on your way?
Yeah, shout out to you guys. Thanks for putting this on, even though you know it's not the big race everyone talks about. And also, shout out to my friend Michael. Happy birthday.
All right. Well, happy birthday, Michael, and congratulations once again, Ryan, on your third place finish tonight.
Thank you. Yeehaw.
And that was our third place finisher of the night, Ryan Finty. Uh, Nick, I think we had a pretty exciting night tonight, all things considered. How would you view the racing product we saw tonight?
I was very impressed. I think Bristol is usually very hit or miss um, when you come here on iRacing, but we got a lot of green flag runs. We got several cautions, but overall it was very clean. The racing was nice and tidy. I was very impressed by everyone, and given even though it was a smaller field, I think there was racing all around. Everybody had someone to battle with. It was very good racing night on everybody's part.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the racing throughout the field it was tight, and I think we saw some incidents from a few drivers who got a little too tight. Uh, but I think that's what Bristol is. I think Bristol's a lot of rubbing. It's a lot of banging wheels, banging bumpers and fenders, just for every position. And I think what we saw tonight is going to be pretty indicative of what we see tomorrow night in the Premier Series race here on the CIL channels at 9 p.m. Eastern, same place, same time. The best drivers in collegiate iRacing will duke it out in the last great Coliseum for that trophy. See some of the drivers you saw here tonight move their way up and see what they can do in the Premier Series. But Nick, you have any final thoughts before we head out on our way?
Well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. After what I saw tonight, I think this was great. Tomorrow's going to be great. I love the racing they put on here. There's many lanes, there's strategy, very talented drivers. So, very looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a good race. But for here at the CIL, I think that does it for us. Tune in tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern as the Premier Series dukes it out at Bristol Motor Speedway. And come back in 2 weeks' time for the season finale of the Oval Series as these drivers take on Homestead Miami Speedway. It's an iconic track, pretty famous for their finale races. So looking forward to that. But for Nick in the booth and myself, I hope you guys have a good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight.